Hey everybody, here is a little tutorial video if you are wanting to add music to any video you have created or submitted. So I'll just quickly go through this. So this will include how to make a little title page. And again, this is for people who have Macs and also using Final Cut, which is super easy once you know how to use it. And this will hopefully help with a little learning curve. But it'll include a title page like this, and then it'll include how to add any little tempo marking or little drop down thing that you can see right there, how to make the music and size it to one side, how to move your video around so that you're on the screen at the same time with your students, and then as the video goes along, how to switch pages to something like that just happened, and then if you want to have, so let's say instead of it being second page, it's a new tempo of something, which is what I've done, but in this example, this is just switching pages. I wouldn't actually tell my students this is the next page, but again, just showing you how to seamlessly add and change these things. And then fix that, which I'll show you guys in a second why. And then editing and how this all works, but just going seamlessly through so you have a video for your students. All right, so what I'm first going to do is I'm going to delete all of this so I can go from step one or A to Z with all of you. So hopefully this will make more sense. Everyone always shows you videos and stuff like that of assuming that you know all of it. I'm going to assume that you hopefully know nothing or very little. So the first thing that you're going to do when and again, this is opening Final Cut Pro and then using it on your Mac. I think everyone has Final Cut. You might not have Final Cut Pro. But we'll just presume for this video, this is for Final Cut people. So when you click that and open it and you get this, you need to first add your videos or your your videos and your pictures. Now, something to remember about Final Cut is they do not accept PDFs, so you can't drag a PDF into here. So what you have to do is when you're opening your images, I open with Preview versus if you have a PDF thing or Adobe, you can't attach that PDF document in there. But if you open it in Preview, again, I know some of you know this, but this is just to help people who maybe aren't aware. So this is a Preview document. Or this is the PDF. If you go to File and you go to Export, and then right here for Format, normally it would be on PDF because it's a PDF file. It'll look just like this. And then what you do is you select it, go to PNG, and then click Save. And then you then have it saved as a PNG file right here versus it being a PDF, which is what you can't put into iMovie. So once you have your videos made, as far as like the video from your phone or from your computer or whatever, these are already edited. But you would just take the video and you would drag it right here into iMovie. It doesn't matter where you drag it, you just have to put it over here and it'll place it. And then you also grab your picture and then drag that in as well. And it'll drag the picture in to this as well. Sometimes you have to scroll to go find it, but it can sense dates and stuff like that you put something on there. Okay, but I do not want that video on there, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. Okay, so first things first, when you got this, a couple of things that I had to learn that helped make my life a little bit easier so that you understand how this thing is. All of your videos and pictures are right here. Over to the top left screen where this star is, and then you can also see photos of if you have a library and ignore this lovely gym stuff that I have on here, and you can pull sounds from your iTunes, but I don't think any of us are going to be worrying about that. But just so these three things are really important. So when you're right here for your videos, this is where you would grab, click it, drag it over. But first, we'll just start with that. So let me go grab, this is one of the videos for this piece, so I'll go ahead and grab this one, and I'll just drag it into this black bar. And it's kind of hard to mess up because you can, again, if you drag it into the wrong one, it's going to fix it anyways. You see, it won't let me put it somewhere else because this is the first item that you have. Okay, so now that's there. There's a couple of things that you can do. The first thing that might be easiest if you're just starting is to click the video. You see how it's yellow, but if I click off now, it's gone. If you hit the space bar, it'll play your video for you. But obviously, usually when you're making a video, you have something at the end and something at the beginning that you need to edit out. Whenever I record videos, I always make sure that I don't try to rush to come stop it or make my video weird, because I can always cut out the beginning and end, so it's not a big deal. So if you go right here to the very end of your video like this, you'll see this little black arrow left and right. It'll show you in this, you can see in the center of the screen, I can choose when to stop it, just right there. And then now I've edited out that ending, so the ending doesn't look weird, and then now you'll see in the beginning, you got me pushing my camera to start it, and all fun stuff, and about right there is where I'll want to start it. So I hit the space bar to stop it, now I just grab, and that orange will be saved, and then I can just drag it right there. Now you don't have to do that, you don't have to push the space bar to play it and then stop it right there, but it makes life a little bit easier. You can just literally drag it and then watch your screen at the top and decide where you want to start and stop it. And the video is not deleted, so like if you wanted to go back, all you have to do is click it and go back a little bit, and it'll bring back the earlier stuff that you had, as you can see. Okay, cool. So that's how you trim the back half or front half of the video. So you have it. Okay, so now let's say I want to add my music to it. So what we were talking about, like the PDFs and stuff like that. So I click the picture of my video. Sometimes every now and then this will be opened up like that, and you can drag over if you're having issues selecting it. And then now I'm just going to grab it and I'll pull it down here. Now you can do this, but I don't. I just put it right on top. That it's easier to organize for me. But you're like, oh my gosh, I can't see it. It's there. I can't see it. I can't see it. It's because if you look at the orange here, the playback, it's just not selected on there. So now you can see both, but we haven't moved them or edited anything, so it's difficult to see obviously what's going on. So let me show you a little bit of tips. This is what's worked for me. I show you how I do it. You can pick whatever numbers that you work. But if you're on a cell phone, if you click the video, so now I'm on my cell phone, or I'm on the video portion of me, that's why it's yellow. This next thing up here is, so like just like this is selecting what you want, everything that you're going to edit is right here. And you got to sort of learn what a couple of these words mean and stuff like that to help you. But the good thing is there's not, let me get rid of that, go away, there it goes. There's not very many of them that you need to be, to know about. So when I click that, and you'll see this lights up blue, but you can click different things if you need to, if you're in the wrong place and to change names and numbers. But I'm going to go back to video because we're editing our video section. If these are closed, you see this word hide. I'm just showing you, this is opened already for me, but for you, it might have been closed. And I think they are closed if this is the very first time you've used it, so it looks like this. So what you want, the things you want to have to fix stuff is transform, crop and distort. Transform and crop. So I'm going to open transform and I'm going to open crop, because those are the two things I'm going to use most. Transform allows you to make the video bigger or smaller, to elongate it, to shrink, to only make just the top part higher and stuff like that. That's what transform does. And then crop is just like a picture. You take it, and I'll show you in a second, I can cut off just a little bit of this, I can cut off that, I can cut off the top, the bottom. Again, that's what crop is versus transform. You're mostly going to be using the transform section to do this, but the crop will work too. So let's say you can see my lovely hair up top that's starting to go away. I wanted to crop just the very top of the video. You don't need to, but if you wanted to, let's say there was a fan or something up there, you can just drag this little slider bar and you can cut out whatever you wanted. So if I wanted to cut out just that very top part, and let's say, though we all love seeing the drum, I want to cut out, and then it can get a little weird. So that's like if you wanted that to be your video, and you'll see sometimes people will put the music on the bottom right here, and you can do that. That's how that works. And then you can get real crazy. You can go to this transform thing, and then you grab this little slider, and this will make, again, X being left and right, Y being up and down. And all of a sudden you can distort, or not distort, but you can make your video bigger. But you can notice, like, as it goes in, my face disappears. And I'll show you how to fix that in just a second. But let's just go back, because I'm not going to crop it like this. You might, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to reset the cropping. Okay, so if you go where the music is, we can't see it. So first thing that's first, what's always worked for me is if you go to the position in your transform, it's a section right here, and this is the thing you want to remember. You go over here, this will shift the X's left and right. This will shift where you want it to go. And so if you put 700, that's what I've learned with cell phones, it'll shift you right over. And easy peasy. If you don't want 700, try 500. And again, it'll move it further and further depending on what you want. And then 0 just takes you back to where you were. But again, for cell phones, if that's what you recorded it on, and sorry, cell phones in portrait mode. So that's like this, not your cell phone like that, but vertical. Just hit 700 and it shifts you all the way to the very edge of the video. And this is that line where it would break off on the screen. And if I did 800, you'll notice that now I'm chopped off. So 700 is the winner. For me, this might not be for everybody else, but for me, that's what works great. So that's where that number goes. Remember, transform transforms your video over here. Crop just takes parts of your video off. Okay, so that's me shifting over. So now if you take our little slider right here, our music is still obviously covering the player or the teacher. So what you want to do is fix it. So just like you had to select the player down here, I'm going to select the music, and now this all resets. So, I mean, this is the one you'll have to play with a bunch because sometimes maybe you're only doing one line of music, sometimes you're doing an entire page of music, or in this case, I'm doing 5 lines of music. So you got to play with all this stuff. Now, let's say you wanted to crop just that little tiny bit of this here on the left. So I go to my crop, find left, and then it'll crop just, again, exactly what it says to do. That's why you just have to make sure you open or unhide this. Sometimes it's hidden, you have to click it to open it. So now I shave that off. Because I'm changing the tempos, I'm going to go ahead and remove. So I don't need the students to see that dotted quarter equals 150. I don't want to cause confusion. So I'm going to crop the top part too. And you'll see, oh, we're starting to see him. But that's not what we need right now. We need to get the music shifted over. So just like we did the X thing, and we subtracted, the problem is when you subtract it, or sorry, when you shift it over, because we're not making it smaller or bigger, it's going to go missing. Now here's a trick. If you want the music to go to the, I got to go backwards, to the left of the screen, you have to do a minus sign. So if we did 700 and it went that way for our video, and we want the music to now go this way, you hit minus sign, and then if I did the same number, you'll see like the music is gone. But this takes it right to the edge. So I did minus 700 for the music now. But half of the music is gone, and obviously we don't want that. So this is where you just have to start playing with it based on what your music size is. So I'll go to scale. I can scale it bigger or smaller, but I know that this minus 700 is too much. So I'll do minus 400. I'll mess with it a little bit. And you'll have to keep adjusting this position on the X and horizontally all at the same time. So I'm going to do this. You'll notice that the left side is still missing, which means it's shifted too far over. So I did 300 and that worked for me. So it's a little bit small, but on your phone screen, remember this is smaller than what you're viewing. Now you can mess with the sliders individually to try to help yourself. So if I want to make the music taller, I'll just go here, and now I can make the music taller, so it should be a little bit easier to hear. And then the problem is when I move this right now, the left side of the video is going off the screen. So if you don't want that to happen, you have to adjust the position. So I'll do minus 280. Now you'll see there's some space right here, and there's some space right here. So I'll go to my X, because remember, left and right for X axis. And then I think I'm happy with that. Not perfect, but now the kids can clearly see the music. It's bigger, so it's easier to see on the screen, and they can see me play. Okay, so it's like, okay, good. I got that worked out. Happy times. Why is my music gone all of a sudden? What you need to do is you take, the music has to be, it's seeing everything at the same time. So right now, it's only seeing the video, and then once it gets to here, it's seeing both. Then once it gets to here, it's seeing nothing again. So you want to drag this over. And now you've got your music and you on the screen at the same time. Then you just, if you're only doing one piece of music or only one page or one segment, then you don't have to worry about anything except for what I just did. So I took the music and I grabbed the edge just like we trimmed, except for now I'm elongating it, and now this is the entire length of the music selection until it's done. And you'll notice right at the very end that the music was longer than myself, so I might just trim this back. Now you can see that it's both will end at the same time with that beautiful ending of my face. There you go, bam. And now you can see that we're both on here. Okay, so for some of you, maybe you're done now. Let me just show you a couple little advanced things that you can do. Let's say you want to have a second page transition, you want to add a title, you want to have a little pop-up that reminds the kids of something. Okay, so this entire selection down here is not this entire piece. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the second page. And if you do it on top of here, it'll replace it, and you don't want that to. So I'm going to put it on top. You could put it in the back. You could put it down here. I'm just going to put it on top of the music, and I'll explain why here in a second. And I already know that the music is going to be long. Okay, so I need to find where this page starts compared to where this page is in the music. So I know reading my music that bum, ba, bum, bum, I just have to find that. So I'll play here, and I'll try to find it. It's not there. There it is. Okay, so that's where that transition is. So what I'm going to do is drag the second page over to where the orange is. I'm going to click the first page. Remember, when you click it, it turns yellow. And now I'm going to shrink it all the way down so it's out of the way. And then bam, you can see that it went down. And then now when I play the music, it'll switch pages. And it's still not perfectly there, so I'll shorten that one, make that one longer. There's going to be a space, which we don't want in a second. Yeah, we don't want that to happen. So I'll just... And again, you have to push and play a little bit to make it work the way you want. Yep, so you can see it's still not the exact way we want it. There it goes. Now it should be okay. Bam. Okay, but as you can see, just like before, you have to adjust it so that it's not covering you, because now this one wasn't, and that's great. Now we got to make this one there. If you look, you can try to match your numbers. So if I click here, it's minus 280. This one's a little bit left and all that stuff. So I'll go click this. I'll automatically go to minus 280. I need to be my playback to be over here, else I can't see what I'm doing. And then now I'm going to scale it down a little bit. And it's already almost there. And then now I want my music to be taller because it's a little small for me. And there, now my students can see me and see the music. And if it's really bugging you, because that measure number is missing, there, now it's back. Okay, so now I have both, but you can see I have to finish putting the music all the way over to the end, or else it'll be missing. And I don't want my students to be missing their music. And then once you see yourself and the music up there at the same time, right there, now it'll be ended together. Okay, so now we've got both pages of our music. It's lined up. It switches right when we want it to. Bam. Starting to look more professional a little bit. Okay, so now let's say I want to add a title page really quick. So you click, remember what I said, the things that you want to change within your videos and pictures are all on the right side. To add more additional things to it that are non-existent, you're going to go to the top left. That's where these settings are. And I'm moving my hand, and it's always the opposite direction. So if you click the little T text box right here, this gives you all these options to add. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the 360 scale, just this is the one that blurs out a little bit. And all you do is, again, you select it, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to put it right in the beginning of our video. As I start messing up with it just a little bit. There it goes. Yeah, so you saw I made a mistake when I drug it over. I put it on top or in between. I'll show you that one more time. That was literally, I just clicked it, hit the delete button, and it's gone. So you clicked whatever title you want, and then if you want it to take over the main thing, which is what we want it to be our title. You don't want it up here because it's just going to be, it'll be played over the video, which we don't want. You have to drag it into the front of the middle section. So there's our little title. If you, again, just like before, and you'll look at it, it's telling you how long it is. 3 to 4 seconds is fine. So if I click it, my options up here are going to change. Now, none of this is going to change. Like, let me put the playback over here. As you can hear my kid crying in the background. I want to be able to change the text and stuff like that. And I double clicked it, and that caused this to pop up. So now I can say tutorial Final Cut, help me please. Uh-oh, things are missing. And I was just doing that on purpose so you could see it. So all you have to do is find where you want, hit the return button, and then now you can change where it is. If you want to change the font size, you just do it right here. In size, you can change what the font is to whatever you want. And then line spacing, if you want there to be more space between these two lines. And then again, what might help you guys again is in position. So for position, I want it to move upwards a little bit because I can see that it's not centered. That's still not centered. That's closer. Oop, that was not the right number. I think that works for me. So that's how you add your title page. And then it'll play. And there's you. And you'll notice those weren't perfectly lined up. I popped up before the music, which bugged me. Still doing it. So that means the music needs to be. And if you look on the screen, you can see where I am. And then there's a little title thing. There we go. And that's how you line that up. So I dragged that over to fix it. Okay, so now you have a title page, you've edited your video, you've got your music. Let's just say one little additional thing that I'd like to do for my students is whenever I have a page break or if I put another video in and I have another tempo, I don't like doing a title page every single time because I'm trying to set up practice videos for them. So what I do over here in the titles is I scroll down, and these little things are always really cool. Again, you can select any of them to pop up. So like let's say I'll do paper. And now I'm going to put it on top, and then for paper, I want to double click it, and then I'm going to write this next one, or this is page 2, 120 beats per minute. And now you've got it, and you can make it longer, make it last longer or not, and then you can drag it to where you need to be so that when it changes pages, it happens at the same exact time. And it looks really cool. And then that's pretty much it. And again, you just double click that to change whatever this is, and you have all your options. Sometimes, for some reason, this little purple line gets put on this side, and it's counting the playback of when you see it wherever the top of this box is. So I don't know, for some reason, that purple line gets put on this side. But either way. So that's pretty much that. Now for some reason, it's not very easy to export. So one real quick thing before you export to get the video saved. Right up here, every now and then I've done this and it's caused my videos to be phased or not online. It looks like you're lagging. Whenever you add stuff or you change stuff really quickly, this will be a loading thing. You'll see in a second. So if this is still that little clock thing that's going around as I go backwards, that means it's still rendering the video, so if you do anything, you could get lag, and you don't want that to happen. So just wait till this is a check mark. And then now that this is done, you're going to go to File, click it, go to Share, and then I know these are all these really cool options. I'm not going to talk about what's best for you. I'm just going to tell you what I do for me. I'm recording in 1080, so I'm going to click Apple Devices 1080. To me, it doesn't matter because everything I'm making is going to YouTube. So I'm not worried about the file, and YouTube accepts this Apple Devices. You can click YouTube, but then you have to put your account in, and I'm not going to go through all those. I just want to make sure I have the video saved, and if I want to add it to YouTube or send out or however I have it. So I'm going to click Apple Devices 1080p, and then you get it right here, and this is not the right name, so video whatever you want to do. And then if you want to change your description and all that other stuff and tag it so you don't lose it, you can. So like if I said doubles BPM 120 and I don't ever want to lose it, I can change the description and then my tags. This is for me locating it on my computer. And then all you're going to do now is click Next. You can pick where you want to save it. I'm going to save it to my desktop. and then you're like, oh my god, where did it go? Don't do what I did the very first time, and it's like, I'm confused. Why is nothing happening? And then you go up to file and you do it again and again and again, and you're confused. This is what I was talking about. Look at right here, and look at the little clock going by, and it's telling you that it's sharing, and sometimes before it would be rendering, but just let it do its thing. And then once it's done, then you can just edit and go to your very next video. And as soon as it's done, it's going to pop up, which is also a good reminder. So if you were to leave and come back while it was doing that, and there's your video, and then there's our tutorial. There's me. And then you'll notice it's still synced, which is what we want. And there's that little transition. I'll let you see it. And you can see it looks really good on the screen, which is what we wanted it to do. There's your edit. Then you click close and get rid of this. And that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or put a comment in the YouTube video, or reach out to me through DM, through Facebook or any social media. Hope you guys this helps you. Sorry that it's long. Have a great day. Take care and